Welcome back. I've got this little plowing tractor that I built. Tried to mimic a tough built tractor, which was patterned after the Al's Chalmers G. And I took an old garden tractor, an old Craftsman 2, 18 horsepower, and used the rear end out of it. And I cut the front of it off where the engine was mounted to the front and welded it on in the back where the engine would be on the rear of it. And I bought these hydraulic parts, thought I was following along with the correct formulas for the drive mechanism and all. I thought with this high and low range right here that I could put this thing in low range, first gear, and I would be able to plow. And I rode this thing in parades, and it worked real good. I rode it in a parade for the Harvest Festival. But the very first time I tried to cultivate the corn, when corn was coming up, it was several inches tall. It was like 8 or 10 inches tall. I was going to try to cultivate over it. And whenever these plows engaged the ground, this little hydraulic drive motor just locked up, would not move. And I had to let the thing sit outside overnight in the garden till it all cooled off. And finally, I was able to get it to crank and get it to drive back home. Brought it back down here to the shop and I pulled it in. That was in 2016, and I pulled it in this little storage room I've got and parked it, and it's been parked ever since, just sitting there collecting dust. You know, had never been used. The thing is still in great shape, but it's junk. And one of my dad's friends always had a saying that I always thought was funny. He would say, "Rusty, you can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear." And basically that's what I was doing. I was trying to put lipstick on a pig. I thought that I knew what I was doing. I thought, well, you go online, you can learn anything you want to about hydraulics, you know, and I built these hydraulics and I put cooling on it and built all, you know, just had all this stuff done, and I thought it was perfect. And I rode it in the parade and I thought, yeah, this thing's gonna really work. And it didn't, and it just knocked the wind out of my sail. And so I quit on it. So now I'm thinking about going back, and I took the breather off and I put some gas down the carburetor, and this still fires right up, but it still doesn't work, you know, it's still junk. So I've got this old Power King Economy rear end that I got from Ricky Tankersley, and I'm contemplating on trying to use that rear end. It's like a 50-to-1 ratio, something like that. Well, these bull gears, it's got these bull gears, and that thing is heavy duty. I mean, it was really made to work with. And of course, this is just a Craftsman lawnmower that I was trying to do, and I made these adapters to adapt these big tractor wheels to it. And I used Buick LeSabre brake calipers, you know, and then made these, used these hydraulic master cylinders for the brakes and stuff. I could take all that off, and it will fit on that rear end, and I could use that rear end. I could go belt drive, I could go back mechanical, and I could use a belt, run through some pulleys, and go back down to the original on the other side over there, where there used to be a pulley on the lawnmower. Right in under there was a pulley for the drive mechanism on this rear end. I could run belts back over, or I could put a jack shaft out the back, put a jack shaft under here, turn it with this, have a jack shaft going to turn the rear end if I use that bull drive rear end over there. I've got this Yamaha Big Bear 350 engine. It'll fire right up. It runs good. Shaft drive. I could turn it around backwards because it turns opposite way. But I could turn this thing around backwards, and I could put a gear directly on this, or I could run a jack shaft where I could change my sprockets and pulleys out, run belts or chains, however I wanted to, and use that rear end, use that bull drive rear end. I'm open for suggestions, and I have thick skin. I know this is ridiculous. It didn't matter. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I just kind of do what I want to, and then I learn from my mistakes. And if you don't ever get out and do anything, if you don't turn any wrenches or you don't try to build something, you know, you're never going to learn anything. And I learned from mistakes. And so I've made a big one right here. And of course, it was a great project for me and my dad and my son work on this thing together. And it was a lot of fun. I had a great time, but it's not usable. So I'm open to suggestions. Anybody got any experience with this? What have you done? What you got? Tell me. I'm thinking, come down here, take the seat off, take the hydraulics off, take the oil tank off, and allow on it for a little while. That's one of the terms we use down here. You pull up a chair and you allow on it for a while, and you think until you come up with something, and then you try to go with it. And anyway, I'm going to try to do something with this. Stay tuned. We'll figure out something.